It was the hard fortune once of a cock to fall into the clutches of a cat. Puss had a month's mind to be upon the bones of him, but was not willing to pick a quarrel, however, without some plausible colour for it. "Sirrah, what do you keep such a bawling and screaming o' nights for that nobody can sleep near you?" "Alas," says the cock, "I never wake anybody but when it's time for people to rise and go about their business." "Nay," says the cat, "and then there never was such an incestuous rascal. Why, you make no more conscience of lying with your own mother and your sisters." "In truth," says the cock again, "that's only to provide eggs for my master and mistress." And so the cat, with all its cunning, found no valid reason to harm the cock. The cock, on the other hand, remained steadfast, defending his actions for the sake of his master and mistress. "Come, come," says Puss without any more ado, "'tis time for me to go to breakfast, and cats don't live upon dialogues," at which word she gave him a pinch, and so made an end both of the cock and of the story. A Wolf and a Lamb. As a wolf was lapping at the head of a fountain, he spied a lamb paddling at the same time a good way off down the stream. The wolf had no sooner the prey in his eye, but away he runs open-mouthed taut. "Villain," says he, "how dare you lie muddling the water that I'm a-drinking?" "Indeed," says the poor lamb, "I did not think that my drinking there below could have fouled your water so far above." "Nay," says t'other, "you'll never leave your chopping of logic till your skin's turned over your ears as your father's was, a matter of 6 months ago, for prating at this forsy rate. You remember it full well, sirrah." "If you'll believe me, sir," quoth the innocent lamb with fear and trembling, "I was not come into the world then." "Why, thou impudence," cries the wolf, "hast thou neither shame nor conscience? But it runs in the blood of your whole race, sirrah, to hate our family. And therefore, since fortune has brought us together so conveniently, you shall e'en pay some of your forefathers' scores before you and I part." And so without any more ado, he leapt at the throat of the miserable helpless lamb and tore him immediately to pieces. The moral of the 2 fables above. 'Tis an easy matter to find a staff to beat a dog. Innocence is no protection against the arbitrary cruelty of a tyrannical power. But reason and conscience are yet so sacred that the greatest villainies are still countenanced under that cloak and colour. Reflection. Pride and cruelty never want a pretence to do mischief. The plea of not guilty goes for nothing against power, for accusing is proving, where malice and force are joined in the prosecution. When innocence is to be oppressed by might, arguments are foolish things. Nay, the very merits, virtues and good offices of the person accused are improved to his condemnation. As the industry and watchfulness of the cock here, in the calling of people out of their beds to work when it is time to rise, is turned upon him as a crime. Nay, such is the confidence of a spiteful cruelty that people shall be charged, rather than fail, with things utterly impossible and wholly foreign to the matter in question. The lamb itself shall be made malicious. And what is this now but the lively image of a perverse reason of state, set up in opposition to truth and justice, but under the august name and pretence, however, of both? As loyalty for the purpose shall be called rebellion, and the exercise of the most necessary powers of government shall pass for tyranny and oppression. Decency of religious worship shall be made superstition. Tenderness of conscience shall be called fanaticism, singularity and faction, and the very articles of the Christian faith shall be condemned for heresy. Villainies have not the same countenance when there are great interests, potent mediations, presents, friends, advocates, plausible colours, and flourishes of wit and rhetoric interposed betwixt the sight and the object. There are ways of deceiving the eyes as well as of blinding them, so that the cause of the innocent must be remitted at last to the great and final decision, where there is no longer any place for passion, partiality, corruption or error. But as to the business of this world, when the cocks and the lambs lie at the mercy of cats and wolves, they must never expect better quarter, especially where the heart's blood of the one is the nourishment and entertainment of the other.